This is your spiritual wake-up call. God is trying to reach you, don't ignore him. Archangel Michael says, "The hour is near, and the weight of the unseen is pressing upon the world. The forces beyond the veil have stirred, and the winds of reckoning are blowing stronger than ever. Those who have walked in the shadows, thinking their deeds unnoticed, are about to be brought forth. Darkness cannot hide forever, and those who believe they were beyond consequence will soon understand the gravity of their actions. The chains of fate are tightening, and the whispers of justice echo through the void. No deception, no manipulation, and no illusion will hold back what is coming." Archangel Michael says, "The time has come when the heavens shall shake, and the earth will tremble under the weight of truth. Those who have moved in secrecy, thinking their sins buried in silence, will find themselves standing before the eternal flame of judgment. The unseen hands of the divine have already begun their work, setting into motion a chain of events that cannot be undone. The cries of the innocent, long ignored, have reached the celestial throne, and the scales are now tilting towards reckoning. No man, no power, and no deception can hold back what is destined to be revealed. The false masks, the hidden deals, and the secrets locked away will now crumble under the weight of celestial truth." 333. Type Amen to receive divine protection. The warnings have been given, yet so many turned their ears away, believing the storm would never reach them. The foolish have built their walls with brittle stone, thinking they were beyond the reach of consequence. But now, the tide rises, and those false foundations will shatter beneath the weight of their own arrogance. No longer will the guilty walk freely, wrapped in the illusion of security, while the righteous suffer in silence. The day of reversal is upon us, where the meek shall rise, and the mighty shall fall from their false thrones. Those who have played with darkness shall now be consumed by it, and those who have manipulated truth shall be bound by it. If you wish to show your appreciation, you can give super thanks up to $50. Archangel Michael says, "The celestial forces have been unleashed, and the light will now expose what has long been hidden. Those who thought they could escape the gaze of divine judgment will soon find themselves in the grasp of eternal reckoning. The voices that once whispered deceit shall be silenced, and the shadows will be burned away by the flame of righteousness. Even now, the messengers move among the world, watching, recording, and preparing for the great unveiling. The hands of fate have already begun their work, setting events into motion that cannot be undone. The moment approaches, and every heartbeat brings us closer to the final revelation." 777. Type Amen to receive strength against the coming storm. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks. With contributions of up to $50, the wicked may run, but they will not escape, for there is nowhere left to hide. The doors they once opened to darkness will now be sealed against them, trapping them in the very abyss they sought to control. No plea, no bargain, and no deception will alter the course that has been set in motion. The chains of divine order are tightening, pulling the guilty into the light for all to see. What was once hidden in darkness will be displayed before the world, and the truth shall speak louder than the lies that have tried to suppress it. The cries of the oppressed shall be answered, and the justice that was long delayed shall now be delivered. The weight of divine will is unyielding, and those who have ignored the warning shall face the full force of consequence. The hand that once reached in mercy will now strike with the unshakable force of celestial justice. There will be no more deception, no more delay, and no more escape. 999. type Amen to walk in the light of truth and protection. Even as the storm gathers, those who stand in the light shall not be shaken. The foundation of the righteous is built upon the unbreakable truth, and no force of darkness shall overcome it, while the wicked tremble. The faithful shall rise, strengthened by the unyielding power of divine will. The battle is not for the faint of heart, but for those who walk in courage and conviction. The shadows may stretch long, but they shall never consume the light. Those who have stood firm in their faith shall find their strength renewed, for the heavens do not abandon their own. The time of reckoning is not the end, but the beginning of a great awakening. The forces that sought to corrupt shall be removed, and the world shall see the dawn of a new era. The righteous shall take their place, and the wicked shall fade into the void of their own making. 111. Type Amen to stand in divine strength and clarity. The storm will pass, but only those who stand strong shall emerge into the new light. This is not a time for fear but a time for preparation. The heavens have spoken, and the decree has been made. The march of justice does not slow, nor does it falter. What has been set in motion will come to pass, and the world will witness the power of divine truth. The choice has been given: stand in the light or be consumed by the darkness. Now, the hour has come, and the time of decision is at hand. Let those who walk in righteousness hold fast, for their moment is near. And let those who have dwelt in shadows beware, for the light shall find them, no matter where they hide. Archangel Michael says, "The time of revelation is upon you, and the forces that have long been at work in the shadows are now stepping into the light. What has been hidden will be exposed, and those who thought they were beyond consequence will be brought to justice. The heavens are moving, and the call for accountability has been made. Those who believed their actions could go unseen are now standing at the edge of their reckoning. No secret is safe, no deception will hold, and no falsehood will stand against the fire of truth. The time of warnings has ended, and the time of judgment has begun. The hands of fate are closing in, and the sound of approaching footsteps echoes through the unseen realms. The weight of every action taken in darkness now presses heavily upon those who sought to evade justice. The heavens are watching, and the veil is lifting. The storm does not wait for those who ignore it, nor does the fire hesitate to burn what is unclean. The ones who conspired against truth will find themselves ensnared by their own schemes. The righteous shall rise, and the falsehoods of the wicked will crumble to dust. 333. Type Amen to walk in divine protection. The forces of deception tremble as the light exposes what has long been hidden. No fortress, no hiding place, and no amount of pleading will reverse what has been set into motion. The weight of truth is unshakable, and the chains of deception are breaking apart. The innocent who suffered in silence will be silent no more. For their voices rise like a roaring fire. Every hidden plot, every darkened deal, and every whispered lie will be cast into the light. The ones who thought themselves untouchable will now face what they feared most: judgment. Archangel Michael says, "The days of unchecked deception have reached their end." The world will witness the downfall of those who use their power to oppress, manipulate, and destroy. The heavens do not forget, and the balance must be restored. The shadows that once covered wrongdoing are vanishing, leaving no room for escape. The very foundations built on lies and corruption will shatter under the weight of celestial law. The righteous will be vindicated, and the deceivers will be known. 777. Type Amen to stand in unwavering truth. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Every step taken in dishonesty now leads to an unavoidable confrontation. The gates of reckoning have opened, and the flood cannot be held back. The ones who twisted the truth for their own gain will now stand in the light of undeniable exposure. The celestial forces have already moved, and what has been declared will not be undone. There is no turning back, no pleading for more time, and no place to run. The clock has struck its final hour, and the truth will have its day. Archangel Michael says, "The hand of the divine now moves swiftly." The masks that once hid deceitful faces have been torn away. The world will see who has truly walked in the darkness, and no illusion will restore what has been lost. The cries of those who suffered under the weight of oppression will be answered. The chains will be broken, and the captives set free. The doors that were shut against the innocent will now be shattered by divine force. 999. Type Amen to walk in the power of revelation. The time of choosing has passed, and now the harvest begins. Those who stood in righteousness will be lifted, while those who chose the path of corruption will be cast down. The waves of justice move like a mighty tide, washing away the remnants of deception. No one can halt what has already begun. The winds of divine will do not waver, and the storms of reckoning show no mercy to falsehoods. What was built on lies will be buried beneath the weight of celestial truth. There is only one path forward: to walk in the light, to embrace the truth, and to stand without fear. The heavens have decreed it, and the earth will witness it. Those who remain steadfast shall see the dawn of a new day, free from the chains of deception. 111. Type Amen to walk in strength and clarity. The final moments of deception are fading, and the ones who tried to evade truth will be caught in their own web. The balance must be restored, and the old systems of falsehood must crumble. The righteous shall endure, but the wicked shall be no more. The heavens move with purpose, and the hour of great awakening is now. The ones who stood against the tide of corruption will rise with unbreakable strength. What was once hidden is now revealed, and there is no stopping the wave of truth that has come upon the world. If you wish to show your appreciation, you can give super thanks up to $50 now. The time has arrived, and all that was foretold is coming to pass. Let those who have walked in truth stand unshaken. Let those who have dwelt in lies beware, for the light has come, and nothing can stand against it. Archangel Michael says, "The time has come when the hidden shall be revealed. And those who walked in shadows will be called to account." The forces of justice have gathered, and the weight of every action is now being measured. No one will escape the consequences of what has been set into motion. The heavens are watching, and the voices of the oppressed cry out for reckoning. Those who thought themselves beyond reach will find their paths narrowing. The fire of divine truth burns away deception, leaving only what is real and undeniable. There are no more places to hide, no more excuses to give, and no more second chances to grasp. The moment is here, and the hands of justice move without hesitation. What was whispered in secrecy shall now be declared before all. The ones who manipulated, deceived, and controlled shall feel the walls closing in around them. No illusion can shield them from what is to come, for the great storm has arrived. The weight of their own misdeeds will be the very force that binds them. 333, type Amen to receive protection from the storm. The cries of the innocent have reached the highest realms, and their suffering will no longer go unanswered. The day of justice is not one of mercy for those who denied it to others. Those who once commanded fear will now tremble before the might of truth. There are forces beyond human understanding working to cleanse what has been tainted. The walls that once shielded corruption are crumbling. The ones who thought they controlled the world will find themselves powerless before the will of the divine. Archangel Michael says, "The wicked have spun their own web, and now they are ensnared by it. The ones who walked in arrogance, believing themselves untouchable, will find their hands bound. The false rulers, the deceivers, and those who silenced truth will now be unmasked. The hour of exposure is upon us, and no cry for help will undo what has already begun. The powerful will find their positions overturned, and the meek will witness justice unfold. The chains that once held the innocent will now bind those who forged them." 777, type Amen to walk in divine justice. The time of waiting has ended, and the wheels of consequence turn faster than ever. There is no slowing them down, no bargaining for escape. The path forward has been set, and every step brings the guilty closer to their judgment. The forces that once protected darkness have now turned against it, the tides have shifted, and what was once unshakable is now crumbling under the weight of divine order. The air is thick with the presence of reckoning, and none can deny its arrival. The hands that worked in secrecy will now be seen for what they are. The words that built empires of deceit will now be silenced. The hearts that thrived in corruption will now feel the full force of celestial judgment. Archangel Michael says, "The doors once open to deception are now sealed shut. The time of falsehoods is over, and the age of truth has begun. The darkness that spread across the world will be shattered by the light." 999, type Amen to walk in the power of divine protection. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20 even as the storm rages. Those who stand in righteousness shall not fall, their foundation is unshakable, built upon the eternal strength of truth. The battle belongs not to those who seek power, but to those who stand for what is right. The ones who embrace deception will now be weighed by their own actions. The burden of their choices will not be lifted, for they chose their fate. No plea, no tears, and no regrets will undo what has been written in the book of judgment. The final days of falsehood are at hand. The world will watch as the mighty are laid low, and the truth rises unchallenged. The hour is late, and the moment of awakening has come. 111, type Amen to stand in unshakable truth. The path forward is clear, and there is no turning back. The ones who stood in the shadows must now face the light. The chains that held the innocent are now shattered, and a new dawn is upon us. This is the moment when all will see the power of divine judgment. The righteous will be lifted, and the wicked will fall. The heavens have spoken, and the world shall witness the truth. Archangel Michael says, "The hourglass is nearly empty, and the final moments before judgment are slipping away. The doors of truth are opening, and those who thought themselves beyond consequence will now face what has been long foretold. The reckoning is no longer a whisper, it is a roar shaking the very foundations of deception. The hidden hands that moved in secrecy will soon be exposed under the piercing light of divine justice. No man-made fortress can shield them from what has already begun. Their own deeds have become the very chains that now tighten around them. The world will see what has long been concealed. The ones who twisted reality for their own gain will find their illusions shattered. The power they once wielded will turn against them, leaving nothing but the weight of their own corruption. The innocent who cried out in silence will now be heard, the pain they endured will not go unanswered. The hand of divine order moves swiftly, bringing the guilty to their destined place. 333. Type Amen to receive divine protection. The time of waiting is over, and the storm has begun to rise. The ones who ignored the signs, believing they could escape, will find that there is no passage out of their fate. The walls they built to keep themselves safe will become their own prison. The cries for mercy will not erase the past. The actions taken in greed, deception, and cruelty will now be accounted for. The false power they clung to will become dust beneath their feet. If you wish to show your appreciation, you can give super thanks up to $50. Archangel Michael says, "The mighty who ruled unjustly will now be humbled. Those who thrived on the suffering of others will now experience the weight of their own sins. There will be no escape, no negotiation, and no delaying what has already been decreed. The storm is not coming, it is here. The winds of truth will tear through the strongholds of corruption, exposing every hidden act. No matter how deeply buried, every secret will be unearthed." 777. Type Amen to stand in the light of truth. Every moment wasted on deception now returns with relentless force. The hands that once manipulated will now be bound. The ones who build empires on lies will see them crumble before their very eyes. The voices of those who suffered are rising like thunder. The days of silencing truth are over. The world will see what has been done in darkness, and the guilty will be left with nowhere to turn. The forces of justice have already begun their work. There is no stopping what has been set in motion. The time to make amends has passed, and the moment of truth is now unavoidable. Archangel Michael says, "Those who ignored the warnings will now understand the full weight of their choices. The ones who mocked righteousness will now beg for mercy. The divine decree is unshakable, and the day of exposure is here." September. Type Amen to walk in divine justice. Even as judgment falls, those who stood in truth shall not be shaken. The foundation built on righteousness cannot be broken. The wicked may tremble, but the just will rise in unyielding strength. The world is shifting, and the age of falsehood is ending. The stronghold of deceit is collapsing, and the dawn of revelation is upon us. Nothing hidden shall remain in darkness. There is no turning back. The only path is forward, through the fire of reckoning and into the light of truth. The ones who stand firm in righteousness will walk into a new day, free from the chains of corruption. 111. Type Amen to embrace the strength of divine will. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks. With contributions of up to $20. The storm is raging, but justice will be done. The guilty will face their fate, and the righteous will witness the power of divine order. The truth is no longer a whisper, it is a force that cannot be denied. Time is running out, and the moment has come. The choice is no longer theirs to make, for what was written shall now unfold. Let the world watch as the light overtakes the darkness, and truth reigns eternal.